Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.sensei.us, where I am Liz Quinn, your lead Sensei consultant. So today I have for you part 4 in our series where we're going through all the general catalog categories and making those into a top 10 of all time for my particular standpoint, view, and collection. So it's really been quite fun. I've loved the comments that you guys have been putting up so far. So let's get into the fruity category, which is number 4. And there's a really good mix here of fall, winter, and spring, summer fruitiness. So my number 1 bar, which I'm sure if you guys watch my channel, you're going to know it's something fall and something kind of fruity, but then something else with it, is going to be the absolutely marvelous Autumn Road Trip. This is a bar. Now, when Sensei brought it out, I got so incredibly excited because it is very similar to my very favorite Bath & Body Works candle of all time, which is called Autumn. So this Autumn Road Trip Sensei bar captures the peak of fall. It makes you think that you have walked outside here in Michigan on a crisp October day when there is glorious blazing color all over the place, with every tree being different, a beautiful azure sky, and still beautiful, nice green grass, not too brown yet. And this is that in a bar. So it's got apple, and it's got oak, and it's got this Anjou pear. And it is the perfect blend of a little bit of wood and a ton of fruit in such a lovely way. It's a good medium to medium strong throw, and I have this in my quarterly club for safekeeping. I hope that they never retire this bar, but it is just a total perfect winner for me. My favorite fruity bar of all time. So then we're going to completely switch ideas here and go to my favorite summer bar of all time, which is Mahalo Coconut when it comes to fruity anyway. This is creamy, dreamy fruit with lots of lush Hawaiian botanicals. This has lei, this has violet, this has such a creamy blue lushness. The color is spot on. And then it has all of this coconut and pineapple in it. It's just incredible, you guys. It is one of my favorite bars of all time. It definitely would make my top 15, probably my top 10 of all Sensei bars ever. And that's saying a lot because I'm such a fall winter girl. I'm not really a spring summer person. But this bar is incredible. It's floaty, it's light, it's mysterious. It is absolutely perfect, and that is Mahalo Coconut. And this you can get right now. The next one is a bar that Sensei claims should go in the spice category. I have never ever agreed with that, so I am putting it in fruity, and that is the gorgeous Cider Mill. This is primarily apples and a little bit of smoothness from pumpkin, and then just a little bit of spice. It mostly smells like cider, and it is so, so good. If this really was a spice bar, I should have had this in the spice category, but it's going to get steamrollered by all these other bars that are spice heavy that I'm going to talk about there. So I really wanted it to shine, and I wanted to be able to talk about it as primarily fruity because that's what it is. And it is just lovely, lovely, lovely. So the next one is a really, really fun, truly just fruit-centric bar. Of all the things that are here on the table, this is one of the few that if you are a hardcore fruity fan, you're going to love this, and so do I. And that is sugared strawberry. This bar, you guys, the first time I smelled this, I thought, how can a strawberry bar be this good? But it is. It is sweet and tart. It's got lots of strawberry, a tiny bit of lemon, and just a kiss of currant to keep it from being too sticky sweet. I absolutely love this. I usually put it in my club, and it is just happy. It is springy. It is like sunshine. It is just, it's like the month of May in a bar. It's absolutely wonderful. It's a great mixer with things like Graham Cracker Crunch or Squeeze the Day. It's a fantastic scent. This one is also available right now. And the next one is a family favorite because even though there's no lemon in the notes, this smells like something that I make every summer, which is a from-scratch lemonade with fresh mint from the garden, this pineapple mint. My daughters love it. I eventually took it out of the club, and I should not have. This is nostalgic for our family. And it was in a Garden, Life's a Garden collection a few springs ago. It is very unusual. Now, some people really don't like this bar, and I understand that. But for our family, this is a nostalgic favorite, and it is light and floaty, and it's the most beautiful mix of pineapple and mint. Other people get less exciting things, so just, refrain from leaving anything too not nice in the comments because I know what some of you think of that bar. Anyway, I'll redeem myself with the next one. This is my favorite from Disney, and that is Dumbo, and this is fruity, creamy goodness. It's so beautiful. I'm so happy that we got it last year. I put a whole stack. I don't have it in my club anymore, but I put a whole stack in my basement. This is cream and mango and tangerine, and maybe a little bit of lemon. It's all sort of sunny citrus and stone fruit wonders. Oh, it's so good. So tropical. This is a good performer too. This is really happy in your home, and it's one of the absolute best Disney bars, I think. That is the Happy Dumbo. The next one is a fall winter bar, and one of my favorites for its balance, and that is the beautiful Apple Orchard and Spice. This has apple, this has cherry, and it has a little bit of wood. It is primarily fruity, but as all my favorite things have in them, it's got depth and balance and a little bit of fall woodiness. It's so good, you guys. I did end up putting this in my club. I said I wasn't going to, and I just got a stack. But then I got really nervous because I don't ever want to be without this. And I've said this before about this bar, that I would like put it off and then eventually talk myself into putting it back in my club. It is so nice. It's a perfect end of August, beginning of September, early October melt with mostly apple, that little bit of cherry to keep it from being boring, and that nice woodiness in the background to warm it up. So good. The next one is the only Christmas fruity bar that I've got here, and that is the beautiful Very Merry Cranberry. This might be a middle-of-the-road bar, but it is so solid. It is a great team player, and it's just cranberries and a tiny bit of cedar. It is so nice. So if you've never tried Very Merry Cranberry, if it comes back in our fall-winter catalog next year, which I hope it does, I didn't club it, it's one of those bars that you can melt in tandem with just about anything else this Christmassy, and it'll be great together. The next one is unfortunately a sadly retired a couple years ago as a shock kind of a bar. It is the beautiful Honey Pear Cider. This is apple and pear and a little bit of cider spice. It is lovely. It's smooth and more gentle than Cider Mill. It's more gentle than any of the other bars that I've got here today in the fruity category. It has such a sweet soul. This is very much like my younger daughter. This is one of her favorite bars, and honestly, it describes her very well. It's gentle and mellow and comforting and just nice. And I hope that we get this back and bring back my bar because my stash is dwindling, and I'm not going to have enough by next year to be able to melt it. So then, one of these that is totally fruity, but it's like all the tropical fruits. If you're going to make me do summer fruity, I love pineapple, I love coconut, I love really hardcore tropical. If it can sort of smell like a pina colada, that's what I like best. So coconut daiquiri is kind of along those lines. This was from a summer collection a few years ago, and it is so good, you guys. I wish this was in the catalog. They did bring back the blue agave and melon, which I also like very much, but I like this one even better. This is smooth. It's got banana, which I hate banana most of the time, but it's perfect in here. It's got lime. It's got some coconut, just like creaminess. Oh, it's such a good bar. Now, this is something I think you can still get in bath products, but the bar is my favorite, and I think I have 2 left, maybe just 1.5, and I will have to melt it this summer because this particular bar is getting kind of sweaty and gross, but oh, this is such a good summer fruity smell. So next, after the top 10, I do have 5 honorable mentions. One of those is because I know most of you love this bar. I love the smell of this bar. It doesn't throw very well in my house, and that is the gorgeous Pina Colada Cha-Cha. And we're gonna have to turn off the ring light. There you go. There's Pina Colada Cha-Cha, which is a total fan favorite, and it's gorgeous. Like I just said, I love anything Pina Colada, and I love this bar. It's just sometimes it doesn't perform as well as I would like it to. Now, this specific bar has more pineapple in it than I sometimes get. Sometimes I get more waxy coconut. This is good. So maybe this specific bar will give me that little extra bit of performance that I need in my house. I'm maybe gonna melt this when the snow melts outside. We'll see. Anyway, very good bar. So then another one that's in my honorable mentions is the gorgeous apple press. This is my favorite straight apple smell that Sensei's ever produced. Why? Because again, it brings you back to fall. This is a fall apple smell with the last roses of summer and a tiny bit of pear and all this apple goodness, and it's romantic. It's like a romantic, juicy apple rose fruit floral. It's so nice. And it's similar to the Pink Sunshine that we had in our Valentine's collection, which I said where did I put that? I may have done a take and then I messed it up and it was in another video that's not going to go up. I want to do an odds and ends, doesn't categorize very well video at the end of this top 10 series, because I'm having a bear of a time with some bars that just are not fitting in any one of the traditional categories. But anyway, Apple Press is similar to that Pink Sunshine, which will probably end up in that odds and ends category. And they're just romantic. They're fruity, but with that little bit of rose, they're also slightly floral, and I find that more interesting than your straight Mac apple like Johnny Appleseed, which is probably our most popular apple, but it's not my favorite. So then the next one, a lot of you would have wanted this in the top 10, but I always like it, but I don't love it quite as much as Cider Mill, and that is Bright Cider Life. This is very, very good, and I know most of you love this bar. And this is apples and pumpkins. And it's a little bit deeper than Cider Mill. It's a little bit more complex. It's very, very good. And this one almost feels like it's got a little bit of cinnamon sugar donut crumbles in the bottom of the cider. It's amazing, I have to admit. Although I still have this in Sensei Soak and Sugar Scrub, I will use it, but it's kind of an odd experience to soak in pumpkin and apple cider. So, that may not have been their very best idea. Then we have Caramel Apple Craze, which is very, very nice. I just couldn't quite put it in my top 10. My younger daughter, this is like her favorite scent of all time for fall. Besides Honey Pear Cider, which is her other favorite. But this is so good, you guys. It's one of Sensei's most balanced, perfect scents that's right on the razor's edge between bakery and fruity. It is the perfect balance of pretty much a Johnny Appleseed type Mac apple and perfect golden glowing caramel. It is fabulous. And it is a powerhouse with a touch of vanilla. And it's the really, really cute two-tone. They don't do a lot of those anymore. And then last but not least, because fruity isn't my favorite category, but a good, juicy, fruity scent is sometimes all you want in the spring. I loved last year's Ruby Nectarine, which did come back in the catalog happily. So for just like a straight all fruit smell, nothing else to mess it up, nothing tropical, this is probably my fave right now that we have. It is an excellent bar. It's nice and sweet. I don't know exactly what's in here. I want to say that there is some nectarine, some apple, and some mango, and a little bit of floral, but I could be off. But it just gives you this wonderful, juicy, kind of floral, but super fruity, happy scent. And it was a very good performer, and we had it with the Desert Bloom Warmer, which is one of my favorites of all time, which I will be getting out this spring. So Ruby Nectarine is the one that brings up the rear for me in the honorable mentions, so that is my top 10 of all time in fruity, plus a few extras thrown in. And if you haven't guessed, if you are not super versed in Sensei, did you know this was a warmer? This is the Peace and Prosperity Warmer that actually looks like an artichoke. And I rarely put it on the channel because I like to have light, which is why I put the string lights up there. I like to have light in my videos from my Sensei warmers. But this is one of my favorite older style warmers that we've made. I love the rustic quality of it. And I wanted to show you guys, if you hadn't guessed, that that was actually a warmer. So this is Elizabeth with Elizabeth Scenes and Scents. That's it for today. I think I'm done filming. I'll do more in a couple days. So every few days when I have time, I will get a couple more of these categories done. So we have yet to do floral. We have yet to do fresh. We have yet to do spice. And we have yet to do... No, I think that's it. I think it's just fresh, floral, and spice that we still have to do. So this is Elizabeth again trying to get off with Elizabeth Scenes and Scents. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.